Well, as Steve Arts 89, well, I was really moved by Huy Quan's speech. Um, I mean, I know his story that he started off, of course, as a child actor. He didn't really transition to an adult actor, and he stayed in the industry, but he kind of gave up, but he didn't give up, and then he got this opportunity, and now he's had all the success. And his speech about not giving up on your dreams, the dreams come true, was really beautiful. I really loved it. But I've given up on my Hollywood dream, my Oscar dream. I used to watch the Oscars every year. I wanted to work in film when I was an adult. I started off in art, but then I wanted to go into cinema and media. I studied cinema and media in high school and college, and I went to university. I did cinema, media, and drama, and I did other film courses and that at Melbourne University and RMIT University and stuff. And I was serious about it until I spoke to a couple of working filmmakers who were currently nominated for an Oscar, actually, because this was right before the Oscars that year. And I won't go into that whole story, but they gave me a bit of a reality check. And unfortunately, the Australian film industry is basically a government-funded cottage industry that really only deals with stereotypes. Like, if you have an ethnicity to exploit, you can get a film made because they will make ethnic films. If you are happy to make a traditional stereotypical Australian film with Australian characters, which basically they know they can sell internationally because they pander to stereotypes of what Australian culture is. And a lot of Australians have this cultural cringe to all our films because they're just bogan films, basically, which most people, that's not our lifestyle. We don't live out in the outback, and it's just, Australian life is very modern. We're very much like America. And those are really your only options. And since I had no interest in making one of those films and I didn't have an ethnicity to exploit, the only option I had was the gay thing. So I sort of realised I didn't have much chance. And so far as my story as a gay man, it was sort of, I was living it. So I kind of felt like I need to sort of finish this sort of phase in my life before I can really do something about it, write something about it. And I sort of was like, you're not ready. You have a lot of issues in your life. You're not ready. You need to focus on this, and when you're ready, really give it 100% and make this happen. And being white, of course, and entitled, I just assumed these opportunities would be there for me because I felt there were opportunities for me when I was younger, and I didn't take them because I didn't feel like I was ready. I didn't feel like I had my story yet. I didn't feel like I'd lived my gay life enough to really comment on it and make a film about it. So I was working on some stories and that, and I just sort of assumed that these opportunities would always be there, and I realised recently that they're not. And I'm glad that the industry has grown. I'm glad that we have progressed, and minorities and people of colour, other minorities and people of colour, are getting opportunities they didn't have before. And it's not just a bunch of white people hiring their friends anymore. But I sort of realised that basically no one wants white guys anymore, especially old white guys. So no one wants my perspective. No one wants to see my story. So even as a gay man, no one's interested in my life, my story, our recent history. They're only interested in the trans story now at the moment. And I'm not trans, so I have nothing anyone wants to hear. No one wants to hear about, growing up gay, being gay, my life is just not relevant to anyone anymore. And especially as a white gay man and just a white man in general. So I'm just not wanted. So the opportunities that were there that I assumed would always be there are now gone. And I'm glad that people who wouldn't have gotten opportunities before because of all the racism and that, I'm glad things are opening up and those opportunities are there for them. But kind of sucks that the opportunities that I had are gone. Like that chair at the table is there's no chair at the table for me anymore. There's chairs for other people and I'm happy for them, but I'm done. So I had that realization probably about a year ago. Because when we hit the you-know-what and we had all that time, I thought you really need to finish these stories. That phase of your life has ended. You can now reflect on it and start working on telling your stories. And then I realised no one wants to hear my stories because I'm a white man over a certain age. And it's like, damn, I had a period where I had everything working for me and I didn't, I just assumed things wouldn't change and they changed. So I'm kind of done. I mean, I'll write stories. I'll write short stories. I'll probably get a novel. See, that's the thing. I can self-publish. I can finance a novel or short stories, stuff like that. Articles. I can get that done, but I can't, self-produce a film. So I'm never going to get. I'm never going to get a film happening. So I'm sort of accepting that. And as much as I loved the speech, you know, not everyone's dreams come true, especially not white men over a certain age anymore. They used to. You know, the people already in the industry that have a foothold, that have a grip, that have connections, they'll stay in the industry. But new people, they're not going to get in because no one wants them. They just want, you know, and that's good for them. I'm glad things have changed. I just wish, you know, I just wish I wasn't a white guy at the moment. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I have other projects to do. I will have an artistic life. My artistic life will continue, but I'm not going to have the opportunities that I had before because the industry has changed. And like I said, glad it has. Just wish I still could have. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of the other people and their opportunities and be happy for them. I don't want to be Angela Bassett. Good luck.